Hey y'all, how are you? I'm gonna move the camera. I was supposed to start the video over here. How are you? It's Friday. Are you ready for the weekend? Yeah. All right, listen. This is not my typical videos, but I just want to remind you to always pay attention, always be vigilant, to always look out for signs. So for me, I've only got about 20 minutes because I'm getting ready to jump on a Zoom call with all of our holiday arrangements, masterclass students. We're going to be doing a Zoom call, answering all the questions. It's going to be a blast. And I've got about 20 minutes, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity. So if you've been following me for a hot minute, you know I'm on this journey of expanding and growing my mind and releasing self-limiting beliefs, right, for myself. And so I felt like, you guys tell me if you're interested in this or not, but I personally think that when I learn something, I like sharing it. Are you like that? Like, it's something so big that you just want to tell all your friends. And so you guys are my friends. And so I'm like, let me share how I'm feeling or what I've learned. And you just kind of like maybe it'll help you. I don't know. But anyway, I have been big on this paying attention to signs. And I have been really leaning into my intuition. We all have intuition. It is something that has to be exercised. It is, in my opinion, it's always there, but are you going to listen to it? Are you going to receive it? Or are you just brushing it under the rug as, not from God, okay? So for me, when I was driving to work today, I was, just doing my thing, driving, listening to a book that has been so far really good. And oh my gosh, that's my dad. My dad just popped up on my little screensaver, my little picture frame. An affirmation for me, another sign that this video is going to be amazing. No, I don't know. I'm just saying that. Anyway, I was on the way to work and there was billboards. Have you ever seen those billboards that are like the LED panel, big billboards, bright in your face? And then they slide to the next, ad or whatever. And so I was driving and I happened to catch the billboard. And it read, this is all it said, the power of grace. Big, that's it, the power of grace. And I read that, power of grace, the power of grace. And I'm like, that's something for me. And I'm like, has that always been on that sign? I drive this way literally every day. And then I'm like, wait, let's see what the next slide is. It's probably leading up to the ad. Nope, it had something about, I don't know, a car dealership, right? And I'm like, the power of grace. And so I was contemplating, what could that message be? What could that, how could that be for me? If it is a message, how am I supposed to take this? And this is what I do, okay? When I feel like there is a sign for me, I came to work and I immediately went to Google. Not that Google is always the answer, but I did. I went to Google because I really wanted to lean in. What is this word grace? What does that mean? Of course, you go to the Webster's Dictionary. It has nothing about God in there. So it was more like, to be graceful and stuff. And so I'm like, okay, not the answer I'm looking for. I was wanting to really lean more into God's grace. And there's a lot out there. There's a lot about how God is, giving stuff to, blessing us with things that we don't deserve. And he's giving his grace to us. That's the way, when I looked at it, it was like undeserved favor was a word that came up. He's gracing us with his undeserved favor on us when he graces us. The other thing I thought about too was immediately I thought, okay, when I hear give us grace, it means, give somebody grace. It means to kind of like forgive them or let it go, right? Whatever, there's something going on. Let's just give them some grace, just to kind of like forgive them or push past it because there's something else. And I kept thinking in my life, is there anybody that I'm trying to like let go of, anything that I have, let's like holding me back, and I need to forgive them or give them grace to move on. I couldn't come up with anything. And so then I was doing some more discussion, and somebody said to me, when I think of grace, I think of surrender. And I was like, that's very interesting, because when I was doing the research and praying on it, I intuitively got the answer that grace is, it was meant for me that I should let go of control and let God be in control. In other words, trying to stop to control literally everything. I have control issues, so I'm always working on that. To let go and let God. And then the more I started looking into that, I found this passage that spoke directly for me. And I'm not saying that it might not, maybe it'll help you too, but the whole purpose of this video is to try to get you to be very mindful of all of the signs we are literally given consistently, daily, and more than once a day. Remember, I just said I saw my dad there. So, that was a message for me that was on a different level. But this is what I read when I found this. How is it that so often you work really hard, but instead of achieving success, you end up burned out? Or that what you really want doesn't always happen? What is that variable that plays out beyond one's own initiative and motivation? It is grace. It is what kicks in when you surrender your ego, putting the active conscious mind into sleep mode, and you let go and you let God. And I'm like, that is exactly what the message was supposed to be for me. So there are times when we are given these signs, and they could have so many meanings, but how do you know what the meaning is? Because when you find an answer of what the meaning could be, you know in your gut which one it was, right? So I gave you some options of what grace could be, right? The one that was the message for me, and that sign was that I need to let go of control and let God's grace flow through me. And hopefully sharing this little observation, epiphany with you, maybe you can pay attention yourself and start noticing the signs. For me, it was a billboard. I've had signs in the way of numbers. I've had the signs in the way of animals. Also signs in the way of conversations overheard. I've had signs come to me through Bible reading. I've had signs come to me through a pastor, a sermon that I've been listening to. I've had signs come to me through podcasts, books that I'm reading, audio. A message you guys say to me is a sign sometimes. And so literally abound. They're everywhere. And so if you are somewhere and we're all like a work in progress, like we're all growing, right, to be the best light of God that we can be. And so if you are searching for an answer, or you are searching for a solution, or you're just not sure which way to turn, I implore you to start listening to the intuition that you have, that we literally all have, because the more that you lean into it, the more guidance you start receiving, the more powerful it is. Also, the more quantity of it is. So does this help? Has this helped you? Let me know. Anyway, I know we all need help, right? And sometimes, honestly, when I open the Bible, it's a lot of words, and I sometimes can get distracted because I've got ADD. But I find when I listen to my intuition, that literally has been the best healing for me of getting the solutions that I need to my problems. And we all have somebody watching out for us. Whether you want to always acknowledge it is one thing, but I'm here to tell you there is somebody watching out for us, and some of us have more than one angel with us, and they are always trying to help us live our best godly life. And when I mean godly life, I mean like be the light of the true God, be love and accepting of all people. And we also have our ego to deal with because we're humans, and we also have life, struggles and situations, and then we have bodies that need healing and that get hurt and stuff. And so it is a challenge. But if you could just pay attention to the signs and then start leaning into the intuition of it and listening. And then after that, if you're like, I'm not sure what the sign is supposed to be, go find the answer. Go search it out. It is going to be worth it. It will be life-changing for you. And so this was my answer, is to let go and let God, because I have been trying to come up with a solution, and I realized I was forcing the solution instead of just letting it flow through me. And that was really powerful for me. And so I just wanted to come on here and share it with you. And hopefully you can use it for your own self. Now, if you're trying to figure out how to flex your intuition, maybe you're like, well, if you say we have it and I don't feel it, how do I know? I'm going to ask you to do this is one way you can start to figure it out, is to, if you're trying to figure out which way to go home today, or go to the grocery store or go to your next, wherever you got to drive, I want you to ask for help and guidance. Which direction should I go to? And then I want you to really, the first thing that pops into your head, do it. Go, trust it, honor it, and go in that direction. And start doing little things like that. That's flexing your intuition. Okay. That's flexing your skills. And the more you do it, the more powerful and stronger it becomes to be for you. Okay. So anyway, hopefully this helps you. We've got solutions for us. So if you are struggling some way, somehow, lean in and let God speak to you through the intuition, right? Because that's when you have your intuition, that is literally from the God source trying to guide you. All right. You guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. If you liked this video, make sure to share it to a friend or tag a friend. Maybe somebody is struggling with trying to figure out which direction to go to, but this is how I do it. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.